So first of all, I'm going to need you to focus for a few minutes, even though you just got nominated for a Grammy.
I know I'm like on the place, but I just loved how you was like,
that phone is,
and now it's serious time. I just loved it.
that phone over there is blowing up, I know. So thank you for taking the time and congratulations.
Thank
It's
you
such a
so
happy
much.
day. We're here at the Blue Note, and I was so happy to catch your show last night. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. When I heard that you had this spoken word collection, I thought, oh, that's going to
Boring?
be like, no, not boring, but serious and artistic and weighty and like, you know. And then I was at the show last night, and I was like, oh, these are just songs. These are just like the best songs.
I call them song poems.
Yeah. Yeah. And it struck me, you know, you say that you've always been a poet.
Yeah.
And what I was thinking was, well, when or if did you start to make a distinction in your mind between like lyrics and poems?
I never did.
Okay.
I think when I first started out, I said, I want to be a singer now full time, but I don't have any songs. And then I said, well, wait a minute. Aren't songs just words and aren't words just songs without melodies yet?
Right.
And I was like, if that's the case, I have a million songs. So I just made all my poems my songs.
Okay.
And when I feel like singing it, I'll sing it. And if I feel like just keeping it a poem, it's going to be a poem.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was totally seeing you like 7 years old writing in your little notebook.
12.
12, okay. Okay. I've always been a scribbler too, and actually when I come back in another life, I want to be a lady named maybe like Ivy or Ruby or something who's in the 19-somethings, like 20s, and is writing songs, like, you know, part of a songwriting team. You know, Tin Pan Alley. That's
what you
my,
think about, huh?
That's my goal.
You're interesting. My little brother name is Ivy, though, so
Oh, really?
we all on the same
Okay.
page, sort
Okay.
of.
Yeah. I've had Aja Monet on this show.
Oh.
I've had Rita Dove on this show, no pressure. But also like poets who inhabit this space between words and music and feel them both. And what we've talked about are the powers of those two things, because words, as we know very well, can fail. I think you must feel like you have these two, when you have access to those two powers and you can combine them, or you can lean in one direction more or the other, that must feel very safe and strong in a way.
Definitely powerful.
Yeah.
I'm so dope.
Yeah. No, but really, because the balance of those things can shift, right?
I literally feel like I was gifted with both hands from God, that I get to do these poems and I get to do this music, and when my voice goes out, I get to do a poem, and when I feel melodic, I get to sing it. I get to do both of them, and I get to do them whenever I want to.
Yeah.
And whenever something whispers in my ear, it's time to speak it now. Now it's time to sing it. And I just listen to it and I just go with it.
Yeah. And another thing that we have talked about, and I've talked about this with other musician friends too, is how emotion is not necessarily always channeled in the moment. Like sometimes I think you write happy music when you're feeling sad, or you write sad words when you're not necessarily feeling sad. You know, like it gives you an access to the part of you that you are ignoring or submerging or something like that.
When I'm sad, I write sad.
Do you?
Yeah. That's when I write the most, actually. I hate that the sadness gives me so much power, honestly, sometimes, because that's when I'm really thrown into the work.
Yeah.
When I'm happy, it's time to go eat and chill. Bye. Buy poems, buy songs. It's time to go be with my family and my friends. It's time to go get a good little steak.
You also love performing.
I thought you was going to say I love food. I was going to say, I do. Yes, I love performing too.
I mean, performing and food are two very good things.
Yeah, they both feel the same a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Yeah.
They feed you. Yeah.
It was good.
I love too. So I think you have three superpowers. You have the music and the words, but also just this stuff that you do with your voice,
Stop.
like these things that I kept thinking, like, this is very primal. This is something she never learned not to do. This is something she learned to do. Do you know what I mean? And it gives this whole other dimension of expression.
Yes, you are so right.
Right?
Yes, I play with my Barbie dolls way too long. Like I would say, at least until like early 20s.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I love playing with my sister, and when she got too old to play, I just played along. And I would play with anything. I would make dolls out of socks, out of dolls, and out of rollers and in stockings by my grandmother's house. Imagination time was fun, and
Yeah.
reading was fun because it opens your mind up to what you can't see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The tricks or what do you even call them? Like the gymnastics, the things, the
I call 'em
acrobatics
nothing.
with what happens with your voice.
It's like Nina
It's
Simone
just
said. Sometimes my voice is like coffee, and sometimes it's like red Kool-Aid. Well, she didn't say red Kool-Aid. I said that part.
Okay.
Because that's what it's just color. It's just
Color.
It's fun. It's play. It's very natural.
Yeah.
It's not an alter ego.
right.
It's just a part of who I am, I think.
It is so not. It's really one of the most natural things I've ever witnessed in
very
a singer.
natural.
It just comes out, and sometimes I have a feeling it takes you farther in something than you even planned to go.
Ooh, that's deep. Yes, I guess so.
There's like these shrieks of some. I mean, there was some joy happening. I think there was a little rage happening every now and again. There's just this, like,
Especially with Mr.
thrill.
Bluebell. Oh
Yes.
my goodness. It's a song I'm just basically talking about the world and politics and sometimes you have to do it in a childlike voice because people pay attention and don't pay attention to children all at the same time. But if you listen to them and you think they don't know anything, but they're a part of our relationships, they're a part of our conversations, and they are living in this world. So sometimes when you tap into that childlike voice, you can get the attention from them because it's already up here.
Yes.
So you can already hear it, and putting
Yes.
animation with it, you think you're being entertained, but I'm also teaching you a lesson if you really listen.
Right. But I was also thinking about the power of words in terms of Black music, the history of Black music, which goes all the way back to when words were code words, in like way back in the day in Negro spirituals, when you could say something that you weren't allowed to say in words
You gotta
in
sing
the
'em.
context of a song. Yeah.
Singing even yourself to freedom, thinking that you're just singing a song when you're actually giving coordinates to stars and
Yes.
pathways to,
Yes. Right.
freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. So many words had double meanings.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that over the course of this, American history, there have been overt moments of protest in words and covert moments of protest in words. And I'm curious how you're feeling about this present and this future and where you want to direct the power of poetry.
That is a very big question, girl. Lord. And we living in a world where your opinion can literally get you canceled. Your own personal
Yeah.
belief can literally get you
Right.
canceled out of this thing. And a lot of the times I like to share my personal beliefs with my friends and people I care about. People that I know that won't throw rocks at me and shame me just for thinking differently or the same as them. So I just know that with my poetry, I will, in the words like Beyonce, I let it sing through the music, and I will let it speak through the poetry. And the things that I feel strongly and about, I will never shy away from in my music and in my poems.
A poem is an unsafe plank. A poem is a universal, deeply
Be
personal
personal.
revolution. A poem is a riot.
Riot.
A poem makes you sit in your own goddamn car and be quiet. Right? No, I love that because it's like it can be so public and it can also be so private, but it holds you accountable either way.
Unlike a song, you can't hide inside of a poem. You cannot hide behind the melody. You can really be saying all type of stuff in a song. Kill them, kill them, kill them. You could, you could be saying some stuff.
Yeah.
And people just be with you, kill them, kill them.
Yeah.
But when you're doing that poem, you say, kill them,
Yeah.
kill them. You're like, what the hell you talking about, girl? You have to listen, and that's what I love about poetry. It's very cut. It cuts through way quicker than a song, and that's probably why a lot of people don't choose to hear it because you can't hide behind it, and you actually have to sit in those words. Jill was so smart with that. Jill Scott with that piece opening up with that poem on the heart, the mind, the soul. A poem is, and I won't tell everybody about it because our conversation about it, what she really meant by it. She just didn't want anybody to play with poetry anymore. That's as clean as I could put it,
Okay,
aside from
okay.
leaking our conversations.
Yeah.
But she didn't want you to play with poetry, and she because she's very serious about it.
So I'm starting to work on this big project that is looking towards 2026 when this country turns 250 years old,
Dang.
which is both a long time or a little time, depending on how
It's
you
a
look
little
at it.
time, little
right?
baby,
Yeah,
little baby country.
Little baby country. And so I've been thinking about words, and I'm working with a lot of kids on this project, and these words, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, those are really intentional words. And if you look at the document, if you look at the Declaration of Independence, a lot of things got crossed out before they chose those words as our unalienable rights. And then, of course, there's a whole other conversation about who those things were promised to. But I just think it is extraordinary the amount of thought and intention that went into choosing those words. And I'm really trying to dig deep into what they mean. Like, I don't think it's as important to think about what they meant in 1776. I want to know what they mean now.
Wow. So many different things to different people. I feel like every couple of years we focus more in on one part of those words. Like at one point it was life, and at one point it was just liberty. And now to me, everybody just want to be happy.
Yes.
They really do, because in the civil rights times, it really was about liberty to me. But now everyone just wants to be happy. And the problem with being happy is that happiness depends on what's happening.
Yeah.
And times are always changing. So I don't even search to normally just be happy. I search for joy.
Yeah.
It's everlasting. And because moods change. Even when wives say, I'm not happy in this marriage. Who is?
Yeah.
Every day. No one's going to be happy every day.
Yeah.
But you have to seek out for something else. I think, especially in self and in this world. But right now, happiness that's what it's all about. That's why the lies is the truth, and that's why the negative is the positive. And the positive is negative.
So do you know something that's interesting that I learned in learning about these words and why they were chosen? So in the day, that idea, the pursuit of happiness, wasn't about personal fulfillment. It goes like way back to the ancient Greeks, and happiness meant the collective happiness, the common good. So the pursuit of the common good. But I think you're right. Over time, we've translated that word to be about self. What can I get? What can I have?
Definitely.
What can make me feel good?
Yeah, because you said what you think of me today. I'm like, today, it's all about what's going to make you feel good. People, I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
I just want to be, that's
Every day.
all you hear.
Says who?
And
Says
that's
who
right
that you get
now
that.
what that Constitution is pursuing. In the next couple of years, we're probably going to go right back to life. And then we're going to go back to liberty. Because right now, we probably need to be on life and liberty.
Yeah. No, you're so right. So what I was thinking last night as I was watching you, and again, watching you handle this moment with, I think, a lot of grace and authenticity, but what came out the most was the joy. And I was just thinking about the radical power of joy. The harder the times, the darker the times, the scareder you are, the more joy is power.
Definitely got to find that in friends, family, personal fulfillment, and food.
And with that, it's time for lunch.
I mean, that's what I would.
Thank you. That's so cute. That's really funny. What I've had today so far is a Snickers bar.
So that's not a no.
No, it's not.
And guess what? I have a poem, a line in one of my poems that said, "I'm not myself today," so I gave me a Snicker. Because they say you're not yourself today. Have a Snicker.